50 years ago this year, the world was captivated. Man had landed on the moon. Hi, it's Stacey Berger here with Mastering Your Mindset. I am passionate about you living a life you love. 2019 is the 50th anniversary of landing a man on the moon. Think about that for a minute. Just 50 years previous to that, we had just taken flight for the first time. So within a very short period of time, we went from being earthbound to the Wright brothers taking flight to just over 50 years later, now putting a man on the moon. It's really incredible and hard even to wrap your mind around that when we've been on this planet for tens of thousands of years. And then within that short period of time, what was accomplished. Think about the number of technologies and conveniences in your life right now that you just take for granted. I'm looking at all the film equipment to make this video. If you're watching this on your phone or your computer, not too long ago, we couldn't dream it would have existed. And now it's something that we take for granted. Your dreams, your visions, your ideas, right now, they might feel impossible, where you can't imagine actually seeing that in fruition. And a lot of times that idea of it being impossible, then we just stop dreaming. We stop even thinking about an idea. We have an idea and we dismiss it right away because we think it's impossible. When John F. Kennedy was contemplating this idea of putting a man on the moon, he said to one of the premier scientists, what would it take? What would it take to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth within the next 10 years?
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space.
And at that time, the technology didn't exist. The buildings didn't exist. Nothing existed to even think that that was possible, that in 10 years we could do that. And Wernher von Braun, the premier scientist at the time, he answered with this: the will to do it. The will to do it. Wernher von Braun knew that once they made the decision, we're doing this, they would figure out the rest. They would figure out the money. They would figure out the technology. But it required the will to do that. And it's the same with your dreams, and it's the same with my dreams. We must be committed. We must decide for them. And once we do, that's when the resources, the ideas, the technologies required for the fruition of that dream, that's when they come into play. What's your moonshot? What's your moon landing? Start dreaming. What would you love? And if it feels impossible, just remember that everything first begins as an idea, first begins as a thought. So dare to dream. Dare to dream. What if you could? Here is to your success.